Okay, we're going to move into our meditation by singing When I Pray. And our team this morning challenged me to do this with finger-picking style. So.
When I pray, I feel my heart go deeper, my heart go deeper into my God. When I pray, I feel my heart go deeper, my heart go deeper into my God. Right here, right now, right where I am, I pray. Right here, right now, right where I am, I pray. When I pray, I feel my soul go deeper, my soul go deeper into my God. When I pray, I feel my soul go deeper, my soul go deeper into my God. Right here, right now, right where I am, I pray. Right here, right now, right where I am, I pray. Right where I am, I pray.
So as we move deeper into this time of conscious contact with the Lord of our being, I invite you to breathe deeply, softening your belly, softening your body, and becoming more aware of the love of God, the energy of God that fills us to experience this life with fullness and generosity and kindness and compassion and love. And so we take another deeper breath, breathing in that pure essence of God and breathing out, letting go and letting God be God in you at this time. As we prepare ourselves for the rebirth of the Christ consciousness within us. Preparing our hearts for the rebirth of the inner Christ child, we take a moment to connect with the spirit of love within us. So bring your awareness to your physical heart, and you may want to put your hand over your heart. And as you breathe deeply, see if you can sense your heart beating. Each heartbeat is a call from God for you to express love. Each heartbeat brings you into a greater expression of your divine self. Each heartbeat is a message from God saying, I love you. I bless you. I'm so glad that you were born and that you are here. As we breathe deeper into our hearts, we affirm that love is the power upon which the whole world revolves. Love is the power upon which the whole world revolves. So when I get lost in the busyness of the season, of all there is to do, the gifts to buy and wrap, and the meals to prepare, and the songs to learn, and the outings to attend, I take time to stay attuned to the love of the Christ within, the love of the divine that expresses as me, especially during this holiday time. And through its reciprocal power, the love that I give away loves me back. And I feel the abundance of God's love that helps my life flow with more grace and more joy, knowing that there's nothing that this love can't transform into a blessing. Love transcends all, transforming any perceived negativity into a blessing. And so I express love in all that I do, my words, my actions, my thoughts. So just as you have fulfilled our giving tree this year, there is so much to give and so much to receive at this time of year and always, but we become more aware of it at this time of year. And so we open our hearts to give and receive love gracefully and wastefully, because we know the more we give, the more we receive. We remember the words of Mark, who said, "You shall love your neighbor as yourself. There is no other commandment greater." And so right now, in this holy place, in this holy moment, I invite you to bring one person to your mind's eye, someone who needs your love, who needs love. Maybe it's a loved one, someone you know, family member, friend, or maybe it's a stranger or a public figure or someone who you know would be blessed by more love in their lives. So bring them into your mind's eye, see them happy and healthy and holy. Take a deep breath and bring them into your heart. This is the Christmas spirit. Sharing love, giving love, receiving love, knowing love, being love in all things. I remember the core of my being is love. So as we move into the silence and the stillness, I invite you to bring this affirmation into your heart. I remember the core of my being is love in the silence. And take a deeper, gentler breath. Open your heart a little wider. breathing in the love and breathing it out. Take another deeper breath, breathe in the love and send it out to the people in this room. Take a deeper breath, open your heart a little wider, and send it out to all your loved ones, all your family and friends. Take a deeper breath and send it out to all beings around the planet, seeing us all as one people, children of God. Can you open your heart wider and take a deeper breath? And in that energy of reciprocity, send that love back to God. I love you, God. I love you, God. I love you, God. And with gratitude, bring your awareness back to this time and place as we sing gently together when I pray.
When I pray, I feel my love go deeper, my love go deeper into my God. When I pray, I feel my love go deeper, my love go deeper into my God. Right here, right now, right where I am, I pray. Right here, right now, right where I am, I pray. When I pray, I feel my heart go deeper, my heart go deeper into my God.
Where are you going? I think we're going to sing.
Oh, that's right. One of these days I'll figure out the orders.
And then I'll change it. That's the way it works. So I want to welcome Brian to our music team this morning. Do we capo this one?
I don't think so. The holly and the ivy, when they are both full grown, of all the trees that are in the wood, the holly bears the crown. The rising of the sun and the running of the deer, the playing of the merry organ, sweet singing in the choir. our sweet Savior. The rising of the sun and the running of the deer, the playing of the merry organ, sweet singing in the choir. The holly bears are very as red as any blood, and Mary bore sweet Jesus Christ to do for sinners good. The rising of the sun and the running of the deer, the playing of the merry organ, sweet singing in the choir.
The holly bears are prickle as sharp as any thorn, and Mary bore sweet Jesus Christ on Christmas Day in the morn.
The rising of the sun and the running of the deer, the playing of the merry organ, sweet singing in the choir. The holly bears are bark as bitter as any gall, and Mary bore sweet Jesus Christ for to redeem us all. The rising of the sun and the running of the deer, the playing of the merry organ, sweet singing in the choir. The rising of the sun and the running of the deer, the playing of the merry organ, sweet singing in the choir.
Thank you, men.
Oh, he's next.
I've been working hard this morning. And the best is yet to come. One of the things I do in my life is men's work. And I sit together with men in sacred circles, and we help each other be better men. And I just want to acknowledge Michael and Brian to allow their spiritual side of to come out, which is something I think the world needs more of, for men to be more spiritual because that's what heals the world. The women have it. The men need to do it more. So I just appreciate men that come to church and that do the healing work that's necessary to make the world a safer place. So thank you. Amen. So it was the new year, and a couple that had been married for over 60 years, they were in their 90s, noticed that they were beginning to forget things more often. So they did what they always did, which was they paid attention and they did something to make it better. And so they made an appointment with the memory specialist to see what was going on. And during the checkup, the doctor tells them that physically everything looks okay, but you might want to start writing things down so you can remember and not forget things. So later that night, as they're watching TV, the old man gets up from his chair. He says, "Want anything from while I'm in the kitchen, dear?" And she says, "Yes, I'd like a bowl of ice cream." And he says, "Sure." And she says, "Well, don't you think you might want to write that down?" He said, no, I can remember a bowl of ice cream. And she said, "But I also want some strawberries on top. And don't you think you might want to write that down?" And he said, "No, I got it. A bowl of ice cream and some strawberries on top. I got it." "Well, I want whipped cream on it too. So I want a bowl of ice cream." "Okay." She's like, "Don't you think you better write that down?" And he's like, "No, I got it. A bowl of ice cream, strawberries on top, and whipped cream." And so he toddles off to the kitchen, and about 20 minutes later, he returns and hands his wife a plate of bacon and eggs. And she looks at it and looks up at him and says, "Where's my toast?" I love that story. And perhaps she said, "Where's my toast?" not because she forgot about the ice cream too, but maybe because of the love that she had spent sharing with this man for a lifetime. She chose to be compassionate and not put him on the spot and not criticize him, but to show that empathy and that love. Different way to look at it, huh? That choice that she made in that moment is what this season is all about. We all make mistakes. We all forget, right? And yet, we can tap into that love by remembering what this season is about the birth of Jesus, the birth of love in a new way onto the planet, and come from that place. That's a choice we can make at any time, any day, whatever's going on in our lives, that we can choose love, right? So I love it that this series is called A Christmas to Remember, and remember love, just like this couple did, to remember love. So that's what we're all about today and this Christmas season. You know, in the Christian tradition, the practice of giving gifts at Christmas time is traced back to the gifts of the Magi, the gold, the frankincense, and the myrrh that was given to the Christ child by the three Magi. And just so you know, metaphysically, what those three things represent is gold represents the riches of spirit, frankincense represents the beauty of spirit, and myrrh represents the eternity of spirit. These three things that we have when we remember God, when we think about God and think about the beauty of life, the richness of spirit, how blessed we feel when we're in that presence of God, of spirit, and the beauty of spirit. We don't have to go far to find that. You know, these grounds, this room, each other. We can see the beauty of God whenever we choose to, and the eternity of spirit, that God was in the beginning, is now, and ever will be. We cannot be outside the energy of God's love and God's spirit. So it's appropriate to give gifts at Christmas time because we're tapping into this 2,000-year-old tradition. And yet sometimes we forget that spirit, right? And we forget about the love when we're standing in line and there's 30 people in front of us. Or these things that we all remember and all heard of, the accidents that happened at Walmart at 5 o'clock in the morning, you know, when people are lined up and they want to get in there to get that toy or that 75-inch TV or whatever it is. And people have actually been killed in those situations. They've been trampled because people forgot the spirit of Christmas. They forgot the love that the giving is all about. And they're more focused on the getting. I'm going to get that thing. But also, perhaps maybe, before we judge them too harshly, is that they do have that love, and they want to get that gift so they can give it to their loved one. Again, just another way to turn it a little bit and see it in a little different light. But maybe they forgot in that moment at 4:55 when they couldn't wait for the door to be opened, and they crashed in through it, and people got hurt and even killed. So it's our job to remember It's our job to remember what this is all about, what life is all about. Metaphysically, we know that as we give, we receive. It's both sides of the coin to experience prosperity in our lives. We have to be able to give from that same source of abundance in which we receive. To not give from a place of lack or need, but to give from a place of abundance. That's why this affirmation that we shared today is so important. I remember that love is the core of my being. I remember that love is the core of my being. Will you affirm that with me? I remember that love is the core of my being. One more time. I remember that love is the core of my being. So that's our work for this week, is to remember that as we, the holidays ramp up and we get busier and busier and the lines get longer, is to stop whenever you have that opportunity and to breathe into that moment. I remember that love is the core of my being. How much love can you give out in that very moment? So what are the memories you have of Christmas? What's your favorite memory of Christmas? I remember when white Christmases, I grew up in Pennsylvania, and when there was snow on the ground. And after all the presents and whatever happened there, I was able to put on my winter clothes and my boots and go out and play in the snow. And somehow that memory just is so present to me. That, have all that gathering, waking up early, doing the Christmas thing, and then going outside in the wintertime. So Christmas is interesting in Florida. I miss that snow come Christmas time. But I just love that, because that's what I grew up in. Till I was 21 years old, I grew up and lived in winter. And so all of that is part of it. And, it was always fun to go to my aunt's house or all the other family gatherings and all the music that I did, singing in the choir. We sang at, anybody's been to Longwood Gardens up in Cannon Square, Pennsylvania, the gardens that owned by the DuPonts. It's, 20,000 acres of gardens and indoor gardens and everything. And our choir got to sing there every year. And we sang at the Brandywine River Museum, which was owned by the Wyeths, N.C. Wyeth, and all those. So I had these incredible roots to being in these very special places to sing and do music. And that song there that we did this morning is one of the songs that our choir sang. So just special memories of music and family and celebrations and all that good stuff. The purpose of these memories is to bring them into our present day. When this booklet first came out from Unity for this year's theme for Advent, A Christmas to Remember, I'm like, really? Like last Christmas I want to forget, just because of COVID. And the participation, we didn't even do a candlelight. Well, we did a candlelight service. There were 4 of us in the room, but nobody came to our candlelighting service. We did it online, and it was different, and I had fun, but, it was just different. I don't really want to remember that Christmas that much. But then I thought, the purpose of memories is to bring them into your current experience so we can recreate it. The purpose of remembering Jesus' birth is to help us all to remember the love that we are and to express more love in our lives and in the world. So it's a combination of the old and the new. There's a line from a song that says, the most predictable story ever told is in with the new and out with the old. Right? That's what happens. We're going to go get that new version of the iPad that's out this year, right? Out with the old, in with the new. But spiritually, what we want to do is remember remember the presence of love in our lives and bring that into this present moment. Some of us have lost loved ones recently, or even not so recently, that it sticks with us, the loss of those loved ones. And yet when we can remember their love and bring that into this moment and share their love with the world and our, in our lives. I mean, yes, losing them is tough, but not ever having them is worse. So we had them, we had their experience, we had their love in our lives, and we can bring their memory and celebrate them in this life, in this year, in this holiday season. So I want to tell you a story about the old and the new. It was, and you may have heard this before, and if you have, I invite you to hear it with new ears. It was Sunday, Christmas Day, and our family had spent the holidays in San Francisco with my husband's parents. And in order for us to get back to work on Monday, we found ourselves driving the 400 miles home to Los Angeles. It is normally an 8-hour drive, but with the kids, it can be a 14-hour endurance test. When we couldn't stand it anymore, we stopped for lunch in King City. The restaurant was nearly empty. Everyone was busy eating, talking quietly, aware that we were all somehow out of place on this special day. The revelry was interrupted when I heard Eric, our 1.5-year-old, squeal with glee. He wiggled and giggled, and then I saw the source of his merriment. A tattered rag of a coat, obviously bought by someone else many years ago, dirty and greasy, worn out, baggy pants, a shirt that had ring around the collar all over, and a face like none other, and hair uncombed and unwashed. I was too far away to smell him, but I knew that he smelled, and his hands were waving in the air, flapping around on loose wrists with no shame at all. Hi there, baby. Hi there, baby. Hi there, big boy. I see you, Buster. My husband and I exchanged a look that was a cross between what do we do and poor wretch. Eric continued to laugh and answer, hi, hi. This old man was creating a nuisance and using my beautiful baby to do it. Not that he seemed to mind. Our meal came, and the dialogue between Eric and the old man continued. Now he was shouting from across the room, do you know patty cake? Attaboy. Do you know peekaboo? He looked and he knew peekaboo. Nobody thought it was cute. The man was a drunk and a disturbance. I was embarrassed. My husband, Dennis, was annoyed, and our older kids were humiliated. We sat in silence, all except Eric, who was running through his repertoire from the admiring applause of this Skid Row bum. Finally, I'd had enough. I turned the high chair around, and Eric screamed and clambered around to face his buddy. Now I was mad. Dennis took the other kids and went to pay the bill, imploring me to get Eric and meet us at the car. I bundled Eric up and grabbed him out of the high chair and looked toward the exit. The old man sat poised and waiting, his chair directly between me and the door. Lord, just get me out of here before he speaks to me or Eric. It soon became obvious that both God and Eric had other plans. As I drew closer to the man, I turned my back to sidestep him. As I did, Eric leaned out over my arm, reaching with both arms in a baby's pick-me-up position, and in a split second of balancing my baby and turning to counter his weight, I came eye to eye with the old man. His eyes both asked and implored, would you let me hold your baby? There was no need for me to answer, since Eric propelled himself from my arms to the man's. Suddenly, a very old and very young boy consummated their love relationship. Eric laid his tiny head upon the ragged man's shoulder. The man's eyes closed as I saw tears. His aged hands, full of grime and the pain of survival, gently cradled my baby and stroked his back. I was awestruck. The old man rocked Eric in his arms for a moment, and then his eyes opened and set squarely on mine. In a firm, commanding voice, he said, "You take care of this baby." Somehow I managed to reply, "I will," from a throat that was suddenly tight. He pried Eric from his chest, willingly and longingly, as though he was in pain. I held my arms open to receive my baby as a gentleman whispered to me, "God bless you, ma'am. You've given me my best Christmas gift." I said nothing more than a muttered thanks. With Eric in my arms, I ran for the car. Dennis wondered why I was crying and holding Eric so tightly, and why I was saying, "My God, oh God, forgive me." Remember love. Remember love. It's all we really have to do. It's not only what Christmas is about. It's what our lives are about. And we get caught up on doing things right and getting more and doing more. And really the only more that is needed is to stop and to breathe into our hearts and remember the love of God that's in our lives and to share it and give it away. I remember that love is the core of my being. And so it is. God bless you and Merry Christmas. Amen.